Spinning like that. What's up? What's up? What's up? It is experiencing life, love, and loss first Monday of the new year. Happy New Year, everybody. We are so excited about this particular year. Now, I don't know if you all know it, but according to the Jewish calendar, right, this is the year of Jubilee, right? 50. That is so important to me because this is my 50th year. So I'm celebrating the year of Jubilee all year long. I cannot wait to get started with just celebrating life. Woo! Love, and then I'm going to even celebrate the losses, hey, because all losses are not bad. So I'm so excited about everyone that is on the live. I want to give a shout out to Cynthia Calhoun. Thank you for being here this year. Shanika Slater, Janine Wright, Ramona Garland, Ashley, Grandma Faye. My grandma on here, y'all. What's up, Grandma Faye? Hey, y'all, listen, I am so excited to just be with you all on this particular new year. There is some amazing things that is getting ready to happen. So first of all, I would like to say thank you so much for being so supportive, for being here every month, every first Monday you are here to converse with us and talk about the things of life, the love that we have, and even the losses and how to get over those particular things. So we're talking about overcoming. um, you can overcome and not go through some things by the word of other people's testimonies. So that's what experiencing life, love, and loss is about on first Mondays. We're going through the ABCs, you all. Before we get started, let me just say, I need for you all to go to the experiencing life, love, and loss and make sure that you all are subscribing to this particular page so you can get the notifications for when we go live every first Monday. Listen, with life and everything that's going on, it's easy to forget about things that's coming. So if you have your notifications set, you will not miss first Mondays. Okay, listen, we're talking about the letter I on tonight. Intentional. Listen, if you have experience any type of um, unhappiness, you're stuck, you are miserable. Listen, this particular live is just for you. We're going to go through some little nuggets on how to overcome that particular thing and be intentional about this year. We're not going to just sit back and let things happen. We're going to, first of all, plan it out and do some things about it. So just sit back. We're going to converse. I do want you all to participate and type in the comments to be a part of it. We're going to show some of your comments as we go in. So, Happy New Year. I see Happy New Year from Erica Yarbrough Smith. Thank you so much for being here. Happy New Year to you. Patricia Jones Peoples. Happy New Year. Thank you all for coming. And we're on for a good show on tonight. Listen, let me talk about this. When life begins to speak to you, when life speaks, it gives you a message, right? Do you know how to really listen to the message that life speaks? Because it's telling you um, how you are to feel. It's telling you what is coming next sometimes. And then sometimes it hits us by surprise. But with all of those particular things, there comes a message. Is your ear tuned into it to receive the message that is coming from life and all it has to offer? With things that's going on, we have some ups, we have some downs. We're going to have some trials and tribulations. But in this particular life, we got to learn from it. We have to learn from our situations that pushes us to the next level, pushes us to the next realm, pushes us to the next thing that we're supposed to conquer. Now, how do we get to those particular things? I believe that spirituality plays an important part. Listen, I'm not talking about something spooky. I'm not talking about religion. I'm talking about just life, awareness, having some insight and some understanding about some things. Listen, I want you to type real quick. Let's have some conversations. Let's share some light on anyone. Let's go ahead and comment if you're not afraid to. Tell me, what does spirituality means to you? When I think about spirituality, it is one of the greatest discoveries in life, right? When you come into the knowledge of some spiritual things, you discover some new understanding, some new comprehension that you were really not aware of it. It is in our spirit that gifts are created. The gifts are there to edify, okay, encourage one another and build each other up and exhort one another. Once we get in these particular things, we're experiencing spirituality, not necessarily I'm not saying you have to do any type of remedies. It's not no spooky things like I said before. It's not those particular things, not tapping into that. But what we're saying here is like, there is a greater power, other than you. I believe my power is God. There are some that don't believe in God, but you believe in the universe. Okay. But the universe, okay, that is a higher being than you, but your God is a higher being who allows us, the opportunity to experience this life and teaches us on another level that natural things can't give you. All right. So I see right here that, who is it? Let's see. Robert Shepard said, God is an intentional God. All right. I understand that. And Cynthia said, what is that? It give me thanks. Okay. It being for me thanks. Okay. I think she's saying it brings me thanks. Okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead and read what Robert Shepard said is having an interpersonal relationship with God. And it's a connection with God. I so agree with that. So it is a spirituality that takes us to getting to being able to be intentional. So intentional. What does intentional mean? It means we have to be deliberate, right? That means you're doing things on purpose. You're not just waiting to something magically happen. You're not wishing upon a star and just wait and see when it comes out. You're not throwing a penny into a puddle of water and thinking once I make this wish, it's going to happen. No, it's some things that are deliberately done on purpose and are planned out. How do we focus on this intentional? That means we're choosing to live. That's a good way to do it. The first thing to be intentional, you're focusing on making a choice to live. With all of the problems that we experience in life, we're not allowing those problems to prevent us from living. I know it can be painful. I know it can be strenuous on our emotions, but it's giving you a choice. To be intentional, you're going to say, I don't care what it looks like. I don't even care how I feel. I have to live. So when you're intentional and you have a focus, you're focusing on making a particular choice. And that choice is to have life and have it more abundantly. All right. So when you are intentional, first of all, you deliberately create a plan that is meaningful and exciting to you. Now, if you are um, planning your particular business, right? You're not going to do a business that is not meaningful to you, something that is not exciting to you. You deliberately create a plan of something you know you're going to enjoy. That's an intentional focus. All right, I know some of you are saying, okay, what does being intentional with a focus and being meaningful, what does that look like? Well, what it looks like is focusing on your strengths. What are you good at? I know with the way society is and with social media, they paint a picture and want us to think that we desire the life that we see on TV. We can be those particular things. And then, for some parts that we can, it is possible. But if that is not your road, that is not your strength, what we begin to do, we begin to suffer. We suffer when we pursue a life or a choice or we chase a dream that doesn't belong to us. That becomes strenuous to us. That becomes something that we're not supposed to be in. That's not even your lane. So even though I love Beyonce and I think she do a great job at being a great performer, just because I think it's easy for her, that don't mean I can get up on the stage and sing and dance at the same time for a long period of time like she does. She makes it look easy. It looks easy. So when she's up there performing, it makes us feel like, you know what, I can do that. I'll be the first one to tell you, I'm not gonna be able to do it. I can move in my chair. But as far as singing and performing and dancing like she do, just because it is presented to us does not mean that that's the road we're supposed to take. That if it's not my dream to be a performer, then I'm chasing the wrong thing. Even if it's after money. If money is not your thing, not saying that money is all of our thing, but if money is not going to bring you happiness, then having that money may not be good for you. So when they say all money ain't good money, I think that's what that means. Not saying the money itself is not good, but the way that you get it. If you are despising waking up in the morning and going to work just to receive a particular paycheck, then that right there, that's causing you to suffer to pursue a dream that does not belong to you. I don't believe that with all the things that are available for us to do, that we should do some things that is causing us pain and strife. So it's up to us to be intentional for the things that we want and desire in life. And I think that because I don't think that it's our purpose to do certain things that is not going to bring us um, complete happiness, complete a holistic view of what life is to come. So I know some of you have a question with how do I know my purpose? That is like a major question that a lot of people have and don't really know how to get to. So I would say when it comes to your purpose, whatever fulfills you, whatever you're gifted in, whatever you're talented in, and that brings you great joy, perhaps that is your particular purpose. So for me, all my life, I've been a talker. Even in school, back in the day, when they had, letters and numbers, like they use the letters for your grade and they use the 1, 2, 3s for your behavior. I used to get B's and threes. Nah, I wasn't an A student, but I got some B's. I used to get B's and some threes. Threes were the worst. It was the highest number you could get. That means you talk too much. So that was my particular, and I feel like I was gifted in it. So whatever it is that brings me great joy is when I say something. So I know that I am purposed to do something that have something to do with talking. Now it's up to me if I let it get me in trouble or not. But I am gifted in that area. That brings me joy to even have a conversation with people, to make someone smile on that particular day when they're having such a bad day. It is my great joy to bring a smile on someone's face. So I believe when you're thinking about your purpose, it may lie within what you're excited about. Another thing, when I think about purpose, sometimes your purpose is birth. And you have to give birth to your purpose. When I think of a woman who is carrying um, a child, right? The woman has to give birth to this particular child, and she has to carry it for the complete term, the full term, before it is developed. And I think our purpose is similar to that. When we go through different situations, it's like going through the trimester. When the baby began to kick, that means when it's bubbling up on the inside of you, you feel so much excitement about what's down on the inside of you, that when it's out and you give birth, you don't really look at when you have your purpose, you don't look at the pain and agony it caused. That's what happens when a woman goes through labor. Once she have that baby in her arms and be able to kiss that particular baby, she don't remember so much of the labor pains that it took in order to get her to that. That is bringing forth, birthing a particular purpose. And I believe our gifts and our talents are connected to that thing to where we can get to our purpose. But sometimes it is, what if your purpose doesn't give you finances? Oh God. Okay. So when your purpose does not bring you finances, I believe we need the finances in order to live. But if you're that person that wants to do something, that if that's your purpose and that's your purpose in life that God gave you, I believe He will provide for you. Okay, even if this purpose does not bring you finances. The Bible, and I have to use the Bible, it says, give and it shall be given unto you, pressed down, shaken together, that men will give unto your bosom. That means if your purpose is to give and you're giving in that particular purpose, you're going to be provided for. Okay, but the thing about it has to let God tell you to do it, so you will know that you will be taken care of. All right. Thank you so much for that question. All right. So we was talking about Fear, okay, when you go through your particular purpose, allowing fear to hold you back. Oh my goodness. Sometimes that thing called fear can keep us from moving forward. Okay. And it can hold us back and prevent us from even doing anything. It can stunt our growth. All right. So let's have this particular transparent moment. If you're not afraid, if you're not fearful, what type of fear is holding you back? I know for me, when it comes to fear, um, even though I'm doing the live and I'm when I'm up before people, and even though I enjoy talking, my greatest fear is that I say the wrong thing. My greatest fear is that I don't do it right. One thing this preacher told me before that really helped me overcome my fear. And he was like, nobody knows what's in your notes. Like, nobody knows what you're supposed to say anyway. So even if you mess up, they don't know. You just didn't say what you plan to say. That helped me so much that it had me like revisit. Okay, you don't even have to be fearful about that particular thing. There are other things in life that needs your attention than to be scared of what is going to happen. That thing is, you got to operate and go past that particular fear so you can go to the next level. All right. Somebody say, forget fear. Can you type in the comment? Forget fear. We cannot let fear hold us back. Whatever your language is, forget fear. I cannot let fear stop me from reaching my goal. I cannot let fear stop me from living. I know another time, like during the pandemic, when there was so much death going on, it made me have a fear like, oh my goodness, am I going to be next? And then if you allow that to bubble up in you, if you stay on that thought for so long, it will stop you from living. You'll be so scared to even live. Forget fear. Fear cannot have that much power over us that it stop us from living. He gave us this life that we shall live. We supposed to live this particular life. There's so much things that we can give to one another that allows us to have an excitement about living. And sometimes that fear can take that excitement away. Fear comes in forms of anxiety. It comes in forms of sadness. It comes in forms of depression, all to keep us from achieving a particular goal. Man, forget fear. I cannot allow fear to stop me from doing what I'm supposed to do, from enjoying life like I am purpose to enjoy. Don't you know that you're a purpose to enjoy this life? You're supposed to have an abundant life, and we will not let it stop us. We're going to say, forget fear. So our topic today is being intentional, right? So we're going to go into I'm going to give you a couple of nuggets on my take in being intentional and how to be deliberate and plan out your particular life. This is a new year. This is 2023, and it is a great time to start being intentional. Even if you want to take it 1 year at a time, if we could just say, I am going to be intentional in 2023. All right. There are 4 steps that I want to give you. I know majority of the time you go through different sermons that preachers teach, or you go to different seminars. They always have 3 points. I'm extra, so I got 4. So I have 4 points to help us be intentional. Number 1 is stories. Number 2 is state. 3 is strategies, and the 4th one is succeed. And I know y'all like, what is all that about? Okay. Yeah, we're going to go through them one by one. Stories. When we look at your stories, situations and circumstances occur, right? Some we can't have control over. But the thing about it is the stories that we have, believe me, everyone has one. Everybody has a story. And I'm reminded of this story of a young girl who was born as a baby, and she was born to a 13-year-old girl herself. Her mother was 13 years old when she had her. Father was nowhere around. So she was born without a father and it was like a baby raising the baby. The mother, being 13 years old, didn't have what it took to take care of a baby. So she gave the baby to the grandmother for the grandmother to raise. So for the grandmother having so much going on, wasn't really paying attention to this particular girl that was growing up. So as she grew up, she had family members and friends of the family that were sexually molesting her. And no one was really paying attention to what was going on behind the scenes of this girl growing up. So here she is with a baby, raising a baby. And then when she tried to get some help, she still have adversities to where she's being taken advantage of and her innocence was taken away from her. Like anyone would do, she started reacting, acting out, um, going a little crazy, so to speak. So they end up taking her to a facility, also something like a halfway house. During this particular time, there were no beds for her to even stay there. So they kept her a few days because they didn't have room for her. Um, After these days, she ended up being released to someone who said they was her father. Not knowing who he was, she was turned over to this particular man. Now, some of you may have heard that story before. You may not have heard that story before, but that is the story of Oprah Winfrey. That's Oprah Winfrey's story. Now, despite all the things that she have gone through today, she is one of the most influential people in the world that's making billions of dollars. Now, what do I feel about her particular story? I feel that she didn't allow her past to stunt her growth. She didn't allow fear of what could possibly happen to stop her from overcoming her particular past. So, what am I saying today? We all have a story. I know you feel like, I can't believe this is happening to me. This is the worst thing that could ever happen. But instead of using your particular story to have a pity party or using your story as an excuse to not do, what about if you flip the script and use your story to change your future? Not play the blame game. Oh, if it had not been, if my parents had did something different, or if I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth, if I would have started off with something, then maybe I'll have something today. If you don't allow the story to stop you, use that particular story and change it for the future. Now, we can't change what has happened in the past, but you can change how you feel about a certain situation. So what am I saying today? The story that you have, those situations that have occurred in your life, those circumstances, whether they good, bad, or indifferent, the ugly, use all of it. All of it. Now, my story is This particular podcast was birthed out of grief, out of pain. Am I happy the pain happened? Absolutely not. But if it had not been for it, I would not have been able to step into, I had to jump in that water, y'all, to even come out and start something. Now, is this where I see it's going to end? No, this is just the beginning, but you have to start. The small beginnings are so beautiful. Oh, they're beautiful beginnings. So when you start something, you use that particular situation and learn from it and do something different. So those are our stories. So that's the first thing I want us to do is use our stories. Use what has happened to you to get you to a greater level. Those things that even that you won't even share with anyone else. Because sometimes we can look at one another and not know what happened. You can look at me, you can't tell that I was raped at the age of 18. But I used that situation. I couldn't allow that to stop me from even being in a relationship with someone else or stop me from knowing how to be in a relationship with someone else. Yes, it happened. I had to move past it. Did it affect me? Absolutely. But I had to move past those particular stories intentionally, right? It's not like you're going to wait to, well, somebody going to come and change my story. That's not going to happen. It is up to you to do something about it. So story number 2 is you have to state it. Now, I'm going to use this in twofold, okay? The first part of state, because state is a multiple meaning word. So I'm going to use 2 of the meanings. The first part is state, like if your state of mind. You have to change your state of mind. Let your story change your state of mind. What do I mean by that? The way you think about it. You can't change the problem. You can't change the story, but you can change what you think about that situation. You can change your mindset. Your state of mind must be changed in order to move forward. Can you stay in sadness? No, you can't. Can you stay in grief? No, you can't. You have to change your state of mind. And I know sometimes when we lose close loved ones, sometimes we lose a bit of ourselves. But you have to live. If it was purposed for you not to be here, then you will be gone too. As long as we have life, we have purpose. So you have to change your state of mind and how you think of things. The next part I want to focus on when it comes to state. Go back to state. This is the second part of state. You have to make a statement, speak. I know I keep talking about this because I have gravitated to speaking what I want, speaking what it shall be, speaking positive thoughts in the atmosphere. No, am I talking about some spooky stuff? No, I'm not talking about anything magical. I'm just talking about what you say is what you will have. And I know I used this example before. When you say, very simple, I am tired. Never in life have saying I'm tired brought you some excitement, brought some life in it. All it does is continue to keep you in the same position. But when you state something different, when you state something positive, when you state, I am going to be wealthy in life. Now, do that mean wealth is going to fall down from you? No, but because you stated, you're going to start doing some things that will bring wealth to you. You're going to start making sure that you're in situations and around certain people that have wealth that can teach you how to gain it. So you change your state of mind, and then you have to state some things. Open your mouth and say something. You have to open your mouth and say what it shall be. Yes, I've been hurt, but it won't always be like this. I'm coming out of this. And you have to speak life into yourself. Speak a change. Make a statement. Somebody make a statement right now. Listen, my statement I am stating today. Happiness is mine. Yes, I'm talking about true happiness. What does that mean? That means something has to happen. Some things are going to happen. I told y'all this is my year jubilee. It's celebration time. I am intentionally stating that this particular year, 2023, is jubilee. I'm celebrating. Um, I'm talking about small endeavors. I'm talking about the great things. I will celebrate it. I'm talking about every time I say I'm going to do something and it happened, I'm going to celebrate big. It's Y'all know that song? My girl likes to party all the time, party all the time, party all the time. That's how my 2023 is going to be. It's going to be a celebration. Can anybody make a statement? Can anybody make a declaration? Just state what you want. Don't be scared. Remember, forget fear. Put it out there in the atmosphere. I see you, Jamaica. Peace is mine, huh? Yes. Yeah, peace. Yes. Can I have that with you? Blessings on top of blessings. Yes, I like it. I like the way you all are stating things. Put that thing in the atmosphere. Say what will happen. I will live to see it. Ooh, girl. You're gonna live to see it happen. Yes. And listen, for some of us, when I say you're going to live to see it happen, that means you're going to visually see it, and you're going to see it before you see it. You have to make statements. And that brings us to the third nugget here in being intentional. Strategies. What do I mean by strategies? Strategies are ways to get to a goal, not one way, multiple ways. When I think of strategies, y'all know I've been teaching for a long time, like a couple of decades and some years. That's kind of hard, like 24 years. That's kind of hard for me to even think. I don't even feel 24 sometimes. But in teaching, what has happened is I teach reading, English, right? And that's a whole lot of reading and comprehension. What I have learned is that when I get particular students in my class, everyone is on a different reading level. So I have one goal because I have to teach one lesson, right? But I have to make sure that everyone in the classroom, no matter what reading level they're on, they have to become successful. They have to achieve. They have to comprehend what it is that we're reading. Because let's say I taught fifth grade and eighth grade. If I'm on a eighth grade level, I have eighth grade text, but I have students on second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, nine. I have students that can't read at all. But the goal is to get them to comprehend what is read. So in order for me to do that, I had to come up with some strategies. Okay, when you see this word in the question, you go find this word in the text and you match it. That's a strategy. I need for you to highlight the important parts in a particular paragraph. For some of you, you can't read the whole thing. I need you to read just a small chunk and then write what you understand about that, and then read another small chunk, and then write. Those are strategies. What am I doing? I'm teaching them multiple ways of getting to a certain goal. So whatever it is that you're dreaming about, whatever it is that you want to do in 2023, be intentional and come up with multiple strategies. What that mean? Write your plan out. Write the vision and make it plain. Go ahead and put the pen to the paper. Write down some things that you want to do to get to this particular goal. You can't just say out want to be a millionaire and you have no strategies on how to get there? That's just like me. Sometimes I say, oh, I'm going to hit the lottery and don't ever play. How? It's not going to happen. So even when you state some things, you have to put some strategies behind it. You got to put some work behind it. This is where your work come in. You have to do the work. If you want to start a business, that your strategy may be to take a class in what that business is about. A strategy for me, I wanted to do a podcast. So what I had to do, I had to start watching some people podcasts, see what they talking about, what they doing, what they setup is, what their lighting look like. Those are strategies. And like, oh, okay, as y'all can see, I got it. Yeah, y'all see my new background. It's a new year, y'all. It's intentional. My strategy, right? I need to reach more people, right? I need more people to hear what I'm saying so I can help a greater amount of people. Thank you, April. April says looking good. Thank you. Thank you so much. So your strategies is working that particular plan. So you have your story. That's good. That's bad. That's ugly. You take it and you use it for your benefit. How do you use it for your benefit? By changing your state of mind, by stating some things, making a declaration, and then you have some strategies. You have to write how you gonna do this? How am I gonna make this happen? And then the last thing, you have to succeed. What? What do you do to succeed? You make that thing happen. The first way that you succeed is you cannot give up. I just can't give up now. You can't give up. Don't give up. There are so many cliches I can think about. If at first you don't succeed, what? Try and try again. Nothing beats a failure but a try. You have to keep going. What do I mean by succeed? You keep trying something until it happens. Don't you know? I was researching and the Wright brothers, and it was Orville Wright. I read that he had 8 major crashes. I'm not talking about when they tried to fly and it didn't go down and something broke. He went through 8 major crashes before they were able to really get it right to fly. Don't you know that has to be some type of yearning that was pulling on him to go through 8 major. That's not counting the minor crashes. I'm talking about 8 things that almost took his life, but he kept going. The Wright brothers, we can sit back and ride from one country to another, unless it's on Spirit. You can't just sit back. But we can sit back and ride from country to another country. All because Orville Wright and the Wright brothers and his brother, they did not give up. They succeeded. They were successful. Why? Because they didn't let it stop them. Yes, the Wrights are amazing. Yeah, that's because your name right. Yes. So be successful in what you're doing. How do you do it? You cannot give up. You have to keep on going. If this doesn't work, go back, throw that away, try something else. But in order for you, and that's an intentional thing, because sometimes failure can overtake us. But listen, failure means you're doing something great. Somebody sitting on a couch can't fail at nothing. They won't fail at anything, but they won't succeed either. And how do you know that this next go round won't be the one that brings you breakthrough? How do you know this next go round won't be the one that brings you great wealth that you can pass down from generation to generation? How do you know this next go round won't bring you great happiness in a relationship? Don't give up. Don't give up. If at first that relationship don't work out, try again. It's, they say it's so many fish in the sea. Cash your net down one more time. If at first you don't succeed, try again. Do not give up. Now, let's recap what we have talked about on today. Our 4 strategies extra, 3 plus 1 because Tisha's extra. Use your stories. Um, our stories can be the main thing that can take us out, or we can be intentional and allow our story to work for us. You can either keep your mind in a dungeon, or you can change it intentionally. Do something to get your mind free, to change your state of mind and how you're looking at things. And then you need to state what you want in this life. How do you want it to change? What do you want in life? It is yours for the asking. When you ask something, you have to state. It's yours for the asking. And then you use your strategies. Come up with some plans. And sometimes, we can come up with some creative things. We can be some creative individuals. And, get you a partner. Get you somebody that you can work with, bounce some ideas off of. Come up with some strategies. And then how you succeed is not giving up. Keep on going. It just might work out this time. And then if it don't, you try it again to make sure that you have something to say. I tried it. It didn't work out. Let me try something different the next time. All right, y'all. All right. We're going to be intentional in 2023. It's not going to just happen to us. We're going to make some things happen. And we have what it takes, because I believe that we are gifted and talented. If you just pull out what you enjoy, pull out your strengths, pull out your gifts and your talents and put it to work, you'll be successful and be intentional about being successful. Is that all right? All right. Thank you all so much for being with me on today. As you can see, it's just me. It's just me and you. Ooh, baby. It's just me and you. I didn't have a guest on today. We're starting this year off being intentional. Listen, that means you are going to make sure that you like the page of Experiencing Life, Love, and Loss. Be intentional about that, y'all. When we log off, y'all, make sure you go and like the page, and then you set your notifications so it can remind you of when we go live every first Monday. All right. Our next first Monday will be February the 6th, 2023. 2023. We're in this particular year. Remember, this is the year Jubilee 50. Yes, and we are celebrating the entire year. Can't wait to celebrate with you all. We're going on the letter J. I'm not going to tell y'all what it's going to be, but just come on back and be with us on first Monday in February. Listen, I am so glad that you all have been with me. This is month number 9, y'all. Ooh, listen, on that 12th month, I got something stirring up. I'm pregnant with something. It ain't no baby either. I'm pregnant with something that's going to come out. So keep your ears open, your eyes open to what's coming for Experiencing Life, Love, and Loss. Once we hit that 12-month year mark, It's going to be a big celebrate. Celebrate good time. Come on. Dun, 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 dun. Celebrate. It's going to be a celebration, and you do not want to miss it. So keep your eyes open, keep your ears open. It's going to be amazing. It is going to be so big, right? So I want to say thank you all, and I love you all so much. Cannot wait to see you all again on First Monday. Listen, be intentional about your happiness. Be intentional about your day. When you wake up in the morning, get up stating what your day is going to be like and watch how you become successful. All right. I love y'all, and I really mean it. And I'll see you all on next First Monday. Don't forget, share this live with your friends. Somebody needs to be intentional. Bye-bye, y'all.
Watch out, world, I'm coming through. Watch out, world, I'm coming through. Watch out. You've experienced life, love, lost, have no fear. Just keep pushing, be strong. Keep the faith until change comes. Strength is not how much you can ever overcome in what you couldn't do alone. I'm determined to. Yeah, I'm a win, I'm a win, I'm a win. Yeah, I'm a win, I'm a win, I'm gone. I'm a win, I'm a win, I'm a win. Yeah, I'm a win, I'm a win, I'm a win. I'm a win, I'm a win, I'm a win. Yeah.